Hey goalies, this is Mike. Today I'm here with Tommy from the Goalie Crease Network. Tommy's been kind enough to help us test out these brand new Brian Sub-Zero 6.0 pads, which is a new senior pro level from Brian's. But as I think you'll see as we move throughout this video, it performs just like a pro and the quality's there too. So Tommy's been wearing this gear for about a month. And he's got the blocker obviously here in front of him. You've never worn a Brian's blocker before, so first impressions, what do you think?
First impressions, of course. The two things you're most worried about when you get a new blocker are going to be weight and balance. Because obviously that's going to tell you how this is going to perform on the ice. So when it comes to weight, extremely light. And of course you're expecting a senior style pad to be a little bit heavier, and actually this blocker isn't much heavier at all. It's extremely light. And then, you know, if you've seen my normal blocker videos, you see I always do a balance test. And this is extremely well balanced. Some blockers, they may tip to the outside, they may tip to the outside. This is actually perfectly straight.
Yeah, and not only that, but you've got the palm centered right underneath it, so it feels good. It doesn't feel bottom heavy or anything like that. Exactly. So it's got a nice comfortable feel to it too.
Exactly. It's maybe slightly higher up the board than I'm used to, but it still wasn't that bad whatsoever. And ended up, the vast majority of the pucks hit in the exact same area that I'm used to.
That's great. So let's move on a little bit to the sidewall, because it looks just to me like you started taking some stuff out here. I know you probably play with your blocker turned to the side a little bit.
Exactly.
So protection here is pretty good?
Exactly right. So that's always a big concern of mine as well, because I play that typical butterfly style goalie with that blocker angled out. So I do tend to take a lot of pucks off this sidewall, and when I am pressuring it against my body to make sure that I'm getting that flat surface, it will trap a lot of pucks right here. And that's why I really like this extremely protective sidewall. That's not only flat, but there is a lot of protection up here. So I've taken some booming slap shots off there and haven't had any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, one of the cool things too is Brian's really allows you to customize the feel of it. So if you can see in this shot, there's actually a removable pad that's underneath here. And it serves two purposes. It provides a little more protection, of course, but if you're playing your blocker in tight, the last thing you want is for this piece of material to cave in and for the puck to squeak through, and that allows you to kind of help seal tight to your body as well.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so all right, let's move on to the fingers. So again, you've got these accordion style finger protections. Looks like you may have even been hit once. So and you've got the wraparound fingers both here on your index finger and then right around your other fingers as well. Sometimes when I see a lot of these beefy finger protectors, the first thing I think is, man, it's going to be really hard to grip and control the stick. Is that the case for this one?
It's not the case at all. In fact, I think they've left open an ample amount of space right here for me to be able to maneuver my stick, especially when I'm puck handling. So it works out perfectly.
That's great. And let's talk about the palm for a little bit, because if you're like me, I have smaller hands, and I find the Brian's palms to be a little bit large, though I still will be able to control the blocker well. How did it fit for you?
It fit perfectly fine. Now, like Mike just said, I have smaller hands, and so sometimes when I'm in a typical size blocker, it might feel a little too overwhelming, if you will, or it might bunch up some material, and really I didn't feel too much of that at all.
And again, if we take a look at the palm, you've got the cream Nash finger stalls, and you've also got this SBA material, which is a little more durable. It also gets tacky as it gets wet, so when your hand sweats a little bit, you don't have to worry about the stick slipping out of your hands. Was that your experience with the glove as well?
Absolutely. So throughout the course of a game, of course your palm is going to get a little bit wet, not only from the ice, but also from your stick and the sweat. So what this actually does is, as it gets wetter, it actually gets tackier. So you're actually getting that very nice mobility here with a lot of grip at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. So you're a goalie who I've seen you play a lot. You like to play the puck quite a bit. So do you have enough freedom of movement in this glove to be able to do that?
Absolutely. And usually I need to adjust a little bit, or if you've seen my videos, you've noticed I've actually cut some of these straps out. But I haven't had to do that at all with these. This actually allows you a lot of mobility right here, and I was able to adjust this perfectly well to that. It wasn't too tight, and I got a lot of wrist mobility with that.
That's great. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about with this blocker is just the quality and protection. So if people were as close to it as we are, you can see the stitching is perfect. The materials are almost exactly the same as they use in the Pro model, and protection is great. Did you find that to be the same case as well?
Absolutely right. You know, when you're thinking about a senior style pad, you're probably thinking it's a little bit heavier, the durability is not there, and some of these designs up here probably aren't applied in the same way as a professional style pad. However, with these Brian's pads, you're actually getting these pro style logos right here and this perfect stitching up front for a very nice look.
And protection, I mean, obviously you put it through the ringer, so protection is adequate for you?
Absolutely. So of course I'm taking booming slap shots. I've taken those weird wristers that are coming in and probably going to hit you in weird areas, and I haven't had even one bruise from this blocker.
All right, so thanks, Tommy. We're going to take this out on the ice now, and we'll show you a little bit more about how it performs. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing the Brian Sub-Zero 6.0 set on the ice and in the locker room so you can learn more about it. Tommy, thanks again for demoing it. Tommy does a lot of great videos on his own site, which is goaliecrease.net, so make sure you check more videos out there and check out the Brian Sub-Zero 6.0 set at totalgoalie.com. Thanks for watching.